it going, everybody? It's Mangley. I got my man Denzel Mims, and today it's our very first podcast for
What's going on?
Touchdown Podcast. So,
Yes. We're looking forward to giving up some helpful information, man, and get some nice feedback from you guys.
yeah, so this should be a very, hopefully informative podcast to help you guys. At the same time, you guys helping us out too. So, first of all, we'd like to give a little introduction. My name is Mangley, and I started DFS 2 years ago. I was watching, my buddy Richard had told me about FanDuel and how they do fantasy football and how their betting systems and everything was working. Just like what Denzel's going to tell you guys soon, I was hesitant to sign up because it did look like a pyramid scheme at first, because they were like, you can sign up people and then get a percentage of their wins, and I'm like, okay, that's a pattern I recognize.
Right.
So he got in, and then he showed me the way, and the rest was history. And then you get your big win. I got my one big win where I won over $100, and it was an exciting feeling, seeing it go all the way up to like $1,400, and then going up and down. You being in the top 10, and all of a sudden you drop down to the top 200, and you're just like,
Yes.
golly, man.
I don't know, that's right.
And then and then I'm watching like these top guys like from our group, shout out to Draft Shot, and them. I've seen A-Rash and them kill it, get like $2,000 and win. I'm like, all right, I can do that too. So I go and I jump the gun, I put $100 in, and then that week Drew Brees and Eli Manning decided to throw rockets at each other all day. Just puts me under the rug, makes me understand that I still gotta do my homework and do my research and start from the bottom. So that's my story. And ever since then, we created a group called FanDuel Group through Facebook. So if you guys are interested in joining, please join. And for those listening in the Facebook group, what's up to you guys? And thank you guys for being loyal followers. It's been an amazing 2 years, almost 3 years now. And that's it for me. I'll give it to Denzel.
Yeah, well, I know, the commercials, man. The commercials really got me, man. I was real curious at the time, a little over 2 years ago, something like that. And I just started searching, looking for answers and doing my research about DraftKings and FanDuel, because I didn't really believe it myself. I started going to websites, reading comments, and watching YouTube videos, and I started seeing, YouTubers showing their balances and, trying to convince everybody that it's really, really real and things like that. And then, I never been in a Facebook group ever. I just still was looking for more answers. I ended up searching for a FanDuel group, and, I ran across Sal. It was about 2 or 3 people in the group. For
the longest time
I
too.
knocked on the door, they let me in. Ever since then, it's been an up and down roller coaster with DFS. And but I'm glad. We went from 5 members to over 4K members right now, man. So we've been through a lot, man, ups and downs. Shout out to the group and everybody else watching this video, man.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll get right into the NFL. So, I mean, the DFS world. Are you playing with the Yahoo Fantasy too, Denzel?
Yeah, I play. I play with Yahoo. Yeah, I'm waiting on this weekend. Well, actually Friday, I'm gonna they're gonna give me another nice bonus on my deposit. So.
Oh, nice.
When Friday hit and I get ready to deposit, I'll be heading over there to deposit too. I play on a lot of different sites. Fantasy Draft, we can't play that right now in Illinois.
Is that right? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Draft Pot. I always play hot roster. A lot of people don't know that about hot roster. I actually have my own promo code for them,
Okay. We'll
and
link it down below for everyone who wants to come and
that's a
join.
different type of fantasy. Most people would love that, and that's about it.
Hot roster. Now I remember when someone in the group showed it to me, and I tried it out. That's the one where you try to predict if one QB which position will beat the other position. Is it who would be better
Yeah,
that week?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
It seems simple, but I'm pretty sure it has its own challenges too, huh?
Yeah, well, at first it was really simple. We was knocking them in the head, but
Oh, is that
they added
right?
they added odds.
Oh, is that
So
right?
after that, after they added odds, it got a little tougher. I'm not as consistent as I was. Well, because I can't play. I'm not that good at baseball, but it's baseball season. But football season is in now, and
Mm-hmm.
we also have a group for that. Me and Brandon,
Uh huh.
we have a group for that. You know, shout out to Brandon too,
Yeah,
man.
man. Brandon's hilarious, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, how you been, Brandon? We gotta get you on here too.
yeah.
But
He's real busy, but
yeah,
yeah,
I know he's starting his band again, so I like that. I didn't
right.
know he was a music guy. I'm a music guy too, so it'd be nice if we can probably do some collaboration. So straight onto the FanDuel changes. As we know, FanDuel has changed a lot this year. They have a new logo, and they also have a new structure. And
Okay, let me add this FanDuel change first because I know you don't even know about this. It
yeah,
just
go
came
for it.
it just came out today.
Hmm.
So uh, I was just checking my lineups today, my baseball lineups,
Uh
and
huh.
I noticed they're not showing you percentages anymore if the game is not in progress.
Oh, is that right?
And
So
yeah, so
what do you mean, like ownage
yeah,
percentage?
so we're gonna fast forward to Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Now, Thursday, when we play FanDuel, we're going to set up lineups and we're not going to play that first game.
Uh huh.
Some of us will, some of us won't.
Hmm.
Now, for your players that you have scattered across the whole slate,
Yeah.
you won't even be able to see those percentages until that particular game starts. So no one would know the percentages. That's a big change. That's probably the biggest change right there. They changed the game with that
Yeah. Because
because
that is valuable information
people
to
try
know.
to steal percentages.
Hmm.
I did it myself. I do it myself.
Yeah, I did too. I'm guilty of that.
So you won't be able to see those
Hmm.
percentages until your game starts.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
you'll
right? Hmm.
see players, but you won't be able to see the percentages.
Hmm. I wonder. I forget that website that actually showed the percentages. I wonder if they're gonna still be able to show those percentages too.
No,
Probably,
I
probably
doubt
not,
it.
huh?
I doubt it because they just stripped us of it.
Uh huh.
Came right in time for football, but hey, that kind of levels out the field. It
Yeah.
has its goods and its pros and its cons.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Wow, that's a big change. And as you guys can see, FanDuel now has they have these rankings on these little symbols on us now, and as you can see, I have a star on me. It says that experienced. I have more than 500 contests. It just shows how bad I've been playing.
my
Only.
badge, my badge says more than 500 contests, more than 1,000 contests.
Oh my gosh.
Um, uh,
You got the
two and a half K won across 6+ contests.
wow.
But I don't have. There's one more check mark that I don't have, and it's 1K won and 4+ contests.
Wow.
That's interesting.
That's gonna be fulfilled this season, right, Denzel?
Sure would.
I need
They're
to
gonna have to add some more categories for me.
at least make that star bigger, huh? Or turn it into a B, right, for the Bears, right? So we don't get the Cowboy symbol all
Yes.
season long, huh? But So that's something that they added in, and what they used to do before was so some strategy. I saw this online. Some guy would he would sit in the lobby. He'll go into the head-to-heads, and he would study who's coming in. So you'll see your regular guys. You can see we have a lot of Abeski right here, as you can see right now. And then we have I don't know. So there's Luker times 10, and you can see Condia and them, and all those DFS guys. So what they'll do is they'll sit here and they'll wait for a rookie to come in or someone new to come in, and then they'll challenge them head to head, and gamble on the fact that this person might be a newbie, and and just be a shark at them and just take out the little guys. So and listening to that guy's podcast, I forget his name, but that he said that he was winning like 8 out of 10 of his games. So that's a huge win right there.
Yes.
So,
Predator.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. I always we have the same mindset too when we talk about stocks. You want to be like a lion, and you just want to sit there and be patient and pounce on the right opportunity, And I guess that's what these guys were doing. For this, at least they were waiting for the rookies out. This year, though, I'll give everybody my strategy. I'm gonna wait on those, those multipliers, the 50-50s, where they have the guaranteed payout, and if they don't fill up, they still pay. So you can.
Yeah, you have to catch those right for a lock.
Yeah, exactly. My brother got like 5 of them last season, and I'm like, wow, dang. You just
week one and week 2 is really gonna be vulnerable, man.
Yeah.
Even 50-50s, even like if you play different sports, satellites and qualifiers, you can win tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They don't fill up. They're guaranteed. All types of stuff, man. You can win $300 tickets to Monsters and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're into that,
Yeah.
So it's not just 50-50s. It's you just overlay.
Yeah.
That's what, you catch that overlay close to lock. Sometimes I didn't caught overlay. I thought I caught overlay close to lock, and it's just like when I went back and checked it was like it was just filled. So make sure you refresh too.
Yeah.
Make sure you refresh.
I know. Also, you go in the game and just be like, oh my gosh, it's not in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, how come I don't got any live events? So are you going to be doing the qualifiers this year, Denzel?
I'm thinking, Kyle and Rash, man, they really big on those.
Yeah.
But basketball season, comes right up next.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely be doing those qualifiers going right into basketball, so that's going to be big.
Yeah.
Especially that first week, they always do something big, and I'll be trying to steal whatever ticket I can get, monster tickets, those $300, whatever, Playboy tickets, anything I can get my hands on. I'm going to try.
Yeah. How many did you win last year? Where the season go?
Well, you mean tickets or what?
Tickets. I know you won one of those free rolls, the city free rolls too, right? Man, I missed those. I hope they bring those back this year, right?
Yeah, I got my hands on 2 of them, and actually, and someone actually gave me one. I won 2. Someone actually gave me one.
Wow.
I sold. I had that one for the New York Giants against the Redskins, probably like week 15. A really, really meaningful game. I think that was probably December 23rd or 24th. I put them on Ticketmaster and sold them.
Wow.
Got face value for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Wow. I didn't get a chance to win another. I did like win like over $400 worth of FanDuel points, and I lost them all and put them into basketball 50-50s.
Right.
Oh, my boss was so mad at me. He goes, "Why would you do that, man? You don't know anything about basketball. Why would you do that?" I just wanted to gamble on my bankroll, try to make it bigger, but.
Right.
Well, that night Jeremy Lin failed me. So, all right. So we'll get into the next section. We want to help out everybody who are new in the DFS. In the group, in our Facebook group, we get a lot of questions, a lot of frequently asked questions about how to start and where to go to do research and and how to prepare yourself for these kind of events, that comes up weekly. So we always preach, play with what you can afford. First of all, we know that FanDuel and I mean the DFS world, it is gambling, but it has the edge of you can do your research, and it's like stocks. You can have information to give you an edge to where you can predict the outcome, a better outcome. It's like it's going back to the analogy of stocks. So it's not complete gambling where you can just choose like these guys who are down at the the cheap level, the $5,000 level, and win with them. No, it's actually a game of skill. And if you don't believe me, you can go ahead and challenge me, and you can choose the 5,000 people.
Uh,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But so you want to have we're preaching out bankrolls. And what a bankroll is, you have a set amount of money that you're going to play throughout the season. So that way you don't overspend. So you play with what you can afford. I know last season I played 500, and this year I might even go less than that. I might even go down to 250 because I got a little bit addicted towards the middle, and I started jumping ships and put it in more money. So I mean, I know even with less, it's probably gonna be more. I'm more likely gonna do that. But I have a better game plan this season. I'm gonna be doing my first Excel sheet, and then I'm gonna be trying out for those qualifiers. I think those are interesting, just to play it for the thrill for me, because I know
well,
that I'm in no league of like these guys from Draft Shot, like Arash and Kyle and them, where these guys put in their work, man. They put in their research. I need to be able to, if I want to go that big, I know that I have to do that kind of big of research also. So bankroll. Anything you want to add on to that, Denzel?
well, yeah, yeah. I don't have a set yet. I don't have a set amount yet, but uh, from experience, man, bankroll management is key. From experience, man, it's a major factor. So control. You don't want to be dipping in that important money. You
Yeah.
don't want to do that. Them bills and things like that. You got deadlines, and
Yeah.
you don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to dip into that because it can be detrimental, man. And bankroll management is really key. Like I said, I haven't set a limit yet, but I'm making a transition to cash games this year, and
Mhm.
those are really important in bankroll management because I was like a professional dart thrower, man. I all I did was play GPPs, and
Mhm.
shout out to Glenn, man. You can over there go. You can check my GO score or whatever. I'll post it in the group. And 97% of my 97.3% of my games were cash game. I mean GPPs, and point 0.7 of my NFL career has been cash games, and that's a big no-no. So you don't want to follow in my footsteps. I win. I was winning though, but you don't want to follow my footsteps. I can just imagine if I was playing cash games. Oh my God, my bankroll would be real nice. So I missed out on that a whole season, 2 seasons worth of that, man, and I'm really insulted by that. So
Wow. So would you say that you think you would have done better in cash games?
yeah, well, yeah, because that's guaranteed. That's more money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's money I've been missing out on. I didn't score high,
Uh huh.
but cash games was never on my mind. I'm
Yeah.
way high, and I'm looking for the skies. trying to hit the top.
Yeah.
But
Right. The lottery tickets.
I'm not thinking, I'm trumping cash games. I'm not thinking that way. And that's what you need to survive in DFS.
Oh yeah. And it's a good process to have for you guys too, to start the inch by inch process. The little wins, and big shout out to I forget their names now. Oh, man, but these guys, I watched their videos, and these guys are playing they were only doing cash games. They rarely played GPP games, and they were killing it week for week. And they're just playing. They're playing with $100, and it grew to $500, and it grew to 1,000. And I'm like, wow, these guys are winning more than I do trying to chase GPP. And it started making sense. It's like, why play against your odds when the odds are more better for you just playing 101?
Right. And if you still, if you're still gonna play GPP, hey, back it up. Back it up by cash games. Enter it into cash games. All my cash game lineup will be in at least a minimum, $1 GPP at least, because I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to take down the GPP. I just want to cash.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to take down a cash game,
Yeah.
But sometimes you can score that high. So I always make sure you insert it at least $1, GPP, just in case your lineup goes crazy.
So you'd say your strategy this year will be to switch over from your 7% of cash gains into the GPP now, and then putting the 99.3% into the cash gains, possibly.
I wouldn't say that. Making that transition, for me, I know it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because I never played it, but it could be somewhere in that 65-35 or something in that area. But it's going to be a whole different. It might change week to week, depending on my progress. But one thing I know is I'm not saying by any means that you're going to win in cash. But if you lose in cash, man, take those. You're doing the right thing. Yeah. Just keep on trying. Mm-hmm. Keep on trying, because you're going to see the results. I know, I'm not no expert or nothing like that. I probably lose. I might lose. I know one thing I do know, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
And you just got to put it together,
Mm-hmm.
Put it together.
Yeah, and believe in yourself, because, we had this conversation yesterday where we were talking about these big DFS guys, these guys like Condia and I forget the number one rank, but these guys are not unbeatable. They're human also, man. I played against Condia twice last year, and I beat him twice, and it just goes to say that it's not. It's not as difficult as you may think. Some days they might be on the hot side and you're on the cold side, but what you'll probably actually find out is from my experiences, they were actually really close games. Really right. Close games where they come down to where it's just like from 5 to 10 points.
If you play those guys enough, and especially in sports that are daily, mm-hmm. you will figure out a trend. Mm-hmm. You'll figure out a trend. You'll figure out you'll know where that lineup construction is coming from, whether they're using Vegas and things like that. You have to take all that into consideration. But you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
you'll figure it out.
That's good. I didn't think about that. That'd be a great way to analyze other players' mindsets too, because. I remember when I was playing against Condia last year, he had strange picks too, and I was destroying him the first half of the day, and then he came back slowly at the end and almost took it over, and I was completely just surprised, because I thought that this was gonna be an easy win, but then these guys actually really do their research pretty well, and I like to say I got lucky. Because a lot of those guys,
including myself, they're like the late night hammer,
Yeah.
That's what I call it. A lot of people call it the late night hammer. You got a full day slate. Some people just, play the game. I mean, I'm not saying it's good to have people going at late night and stuff like that, but it does help. A lineup could be struggling throughout the day, but you got players going, all throughout the day, even a player or two in the night game, so you can really come back, like that.
Oh yes.
When your lineups run out 6 or 7 o'clock, and then you're sitting there prime time, and your opponent still has players going, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, your heart's racing,
Yeah, he's about to pass me right on up.
Yeah, but and it's great to be on the other end too. When it's that you're in like when you do like those 20-man leagues and you're in like the fifth place and everyone else is done and you got one player left and it just could be just a kicker and you're just a couple points down, probably 10 to 15
Yeah.
points, and you just see this kicker just making you scores. So it's that's also exciting. Do you make your lineups according to that too? Do you always have a primetime game or a Monday night game? A player in one of those?
Yes. Yes. And I'd say in about I don't know, I can't figure out a percentage, but it depends on week to week, Like this week, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We got the Steelers game that
Uh
Monday.
huh. And
We're gonna have some exposure to that game. The
oh.
whole world will with Antonio
Oh,
Brown
I
out there
know. It'd be like the top
and
owned wide
Reed.
receiver. Yeah.
Yes.
That's right,
So
man. That's gonna be a huge game. A huge game. I think I probably just stick to Sunday only, so I don't get destroyed. If you don't have
yeah,
it,
those
if you don't have Antonio Brown or any Redskin or Steelers players, make sure they're just Sunday only, okay?
right.
Or else
Right.
Monday will come and scare you. You'll
hmm
start seeing your lines drop. But for those who play GPP and possibly cash too. But
Yeah.
all right, we'll get to the next section. We'll get some other advices now for research. Now, research is pretty interesting. I think the given researches that are nice to know are weak defenses and which defenses give out the most passing yards and most rushing yards. Those usually are pretty accurate.
Right.
So those
And yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
so I'd like I know this week you guys got if Saints are still the worst, the Raiders look really good this week on
Yep.
both run game and the pass game. So I'm predicting off of easy research. That's considered easy research. That could be a game that's favorable towards you. That you can choose players in there, and the funny thing is each game they all have their what I call their cash cow that can actually make you score a lot of points for you. The goal is
hmm
trying to figure out what's their game plan going to be. Some guys listen to the coaches the coaches' feedback on their game plan throughout the week. Which I don't know if sometimes they're telling the truth or they're giving out false information to mislead the other team. But those are also good things to know. But,
Yeah.
also,
Vegas lines
yeah.
and things like that.
Oh yes,
Point totals.
Vegas spreads. Yes.
You want a piece of those high scoring games. You definitely want a piece of those high scoring games.
Yeah. Go ahead and explain what the Vegas spreads.
Well, the spreads. Like I think I usually like games probably 45 and higher like that. Big spreads. Those games I like to dabble into those and get some players out of there because you're looking forward to a shootout and things like that.
Yeah. So this week, these are spreads according to Daily Fantasy Nerd. So they're having the Green Bay and Jacksonville game to be spread by 4.5, about 26.3.
Mm.
The highest one, they have the Detroit one really high against the Colts.
Yeah, those secondaries are suspect
Mm-hmm.
on both sides of the ball, and
Let's see.
it looks like I like Hilton in that game. I like Marvin Jones in that game,
Mm-hmm.
man. Target monsters,
Mm-hmm.
just eat up targets, man, and they're gonna be, dumping it off, going over the top, just doing everything in that game. I already know, man. It's gonna be interesting without Calvin Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I just want to see how the Lions react to this right here because I'm guessing they got a couple midgets on the outside, so we're gonna see what's going on.
Yeah, they got Anquan Bolden down in there too, for the wide receiver core. So Should be
Yeah.
very interesting, very very interesting. Along with so they got Seattle and Miami at 27 too. The spread's 10.5. They're really thinking Seattle's gonna go that.
Yeah, they think Seattle gonna go ahead and
Just
wipe the floor with those guys, but
we'll find out, huh?
yeah, we will. I do like Baldwin in that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got Lockett in that one too. So with stacked with Russell, so should be great. Either one, if not Thomas Rawls would be good. I'm interested to see how Matt Forte plays with the Dolphins.
I want no. You mean
Uh,
Arian
oh,
Foster?
Aaron Foster. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, Aaron Foster. Aaron Foster. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It shouldn't like don't. I mean, I would say.
He's a great
I
value
mean,
pick too, I guess.
yeah, he's a good. Yeah. I would say don't trick yourself, man. I think he's a go.
Hmm.
You know. I mean, you don't know until you give him a try, man. You know, so I know it's going to be a lot of people. I mean, we can probably lie to ourselves or whatever, but we're going to be running some lines. It's week one, man. It's a war,
Yes.
especially with all the value that's out there. It's going to be a war, man.
Yes, it is.
And just
Explain why you think it's gonna be a war, Denzel.
because I'm looking at. I just started looking, you know, maybe 2 days ago, and I'm seeing so much value within these wide receivers and running backs, and you know, oh man, that's why I feel like it's gonna be. Well, I know it's gonna be some crazy lineups out there. What you're gonna think? Well, we'll think there'd be some crazy lineups, but it's week one, man, and
Hmm.
I wouldn't trick myself. Don't trick yourself, man. You like a player, man, go for it, man. Don't shy away from that player because of the price. Because throughout the season, you know, the prices are gonna go up,
Hmm.
prices are gonna come down.
Hmm.
And a lot of players are underpriced. A lot of them, man. We don't even know. Everybody's on the same level. It's week one, so you know everybody's trying to go to the top. Players, DFS players, NFL players, we're all trying to do it. So you know, don't 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 look at these prices and run away from them, whether they're too high or whether they, you know, whether you think they're underpriced, man. Choose them.
Yeah.
Do your research first and foremost,
Yeah.
man. And you know, your gut, man. 9 times out of 10, your gut is right.
Yeah. As you can see, like you guys know when Sunday comes along, and throughout the whole week, you're gonna probably find yourself switching the lineup, switching lines, and then when game time starts and you start seeing this player score, and you're like, oh, I had him in my lineup. Oh my gosh, I switched him out, and
Yeah,
you're kicking
yeah.
yourself all day, you know. And I've
Hmm.
been guilty of that too many times last year. And even with the new strategy that I got from Chris, my man Chris Kowalski, he had told me just don't do any lineup changes until Saturday, or like Denzel says, to do it in the morning before game starts.
Right. I probably my strategy like that Sunday morning. You know, I'll probably research all week, man. You know, all week, and because I'll apply this. I'll say about maybe the third or fourth week because people would have been got nicked up by then and stuff like that, and then you know you have to be at the front. You have to be at the edge of right there in front of the television. You know, Sunday morning, waiting for actives,
Oh yeah.
waiting for inactives because that's like right when they let them go after players start getting nicked up after week 3 and 4 and stuff like that. You want to be right there, you know. So that's why I around week 3 and 4 I started plugging my lineups in Sunday morning, so I don't have to do no tinkering and things like that, you know. And you can do a lot of research, man, and it can it can really clog your brain all week. You can just be like, man, I did all this research just to get off a player that I was really on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That's what.
especially making those lineups and stuff. But I'm not saying I'm not saying no. I'm not never saying don't do it. I'm just saying this is what I do.
Mhm. That's tough, yeah, because that is an issue. That's a good question. I'd like to ask, the top guys in our group, like Draft Shot. And if you guys are listening, Arash and Kyle, now how do you guys deal with that issue, knowing that sometimes you might convince yourself not to play a player, and when everyone else says, "Oh, you should play him," so how do you make your final decision? Do you flip a coin, or do you just go with your gut? Because I find that interesting. The way I deal with that personally is I just make a brand new lineup with the change, and I split the entries in half, the price of the entry. Instead of paying the $2, I'll split it to $1 and put in two lineups, so that way I can get them both. I don't kick myself for it, but I'll get half the winnings, or usually I just get both of them losing.
Right.
So
Better safe than sorry.
yeah, so it's interesting. I guess I guess there'd be a lot of options, but and for you guys too listening, how would you guys go about in that kind of situation? So as I'm looking at these running backs, man, they're really saying Duke Johnson's gonna do really well, huh?
I actually, I was not on, I was not on Duke Johnson, but I know what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he can do. I was not on him though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's, he'll be under the radar. Really, he'll be under the radar.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be low on.
Mm-hmm.
I know that. And but like I said, I was not on him, but I know what he can do. He can catch, he can run.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I definitely wasn't on him.
Yeah, Latavius Murray is gonna be a good one to play too against the Saints.
Now, Latavius Murray, you know, especially with that defense that they had, the Saints had. Oh my God! And then Oakland, they have the weapons to attack you, any way offensively. So with the Raiders, it's kind of like pick your poison. You want to go wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
you want to go, you want to attack them in the running game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pick your poison. Latavius Murray has a nice price tag.
Yes, he does. That's a really great value for him.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I'm saying. What I was saying. A lot of these guys are underpriced, and the workload that Murray would get, I'm not so much sure about. What his workload is going to be like this year, but that just like I say, I'm not going to overthink. I'm not going to overthink too much stuff, and try to get too pretty. So.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure I cash.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. And then, of course, they have Antonio Brown as the highest value. I think he's great. He's great to have any day. Although last year he did miss a couple. I mean, he did slop a couple of games, but man, when they were playing the Colts last year, oh man, he took off. He took off, and yeah, hugging poles and everything. Just the one time that I don't play him. That was a great game, though. That was a crazy weekend. I remember that weekend when Mariota had a great game, Cam Newton had a great game, and then just before, I scored like 180 points in DK, and I'm like, this is gonna be an easy $100 take home. And then all of a sudden, I barely break cash because Big Ben and Antonio Brown decides to take off.
Yeah.
So, and I learned a lesson that time too. All my players were done by the time prime time, so I should have just chose games that were that didn't include prime time too. If my players weren't playing.
Right, at least one or something like that. It's not necessary though.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to, when prime time is on. You don't usually see a blowout like that before prime time. You're not just like blowing away the whole field. But when you don't have nobody else going, then that's when you really start to get worried. You start to get worried. Yeah, when your whole lineup is finished, you got a nice score, but you got some big dogs coming up at nighttime and prime time. Man, it's a sweat. That's the sweat, though, man. That's a sweat, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it could be a long night too. Get your beers ready, you know. So
Yeah,
we got for the tight end position. Yeah, they got Kobe Fleener.
I like Kobe Fleener,
Yeah,
man.
I know.
I really like him. Uh, you know, I'm not backing down from the Saints offense.
Mm-hmm.
They got Brees leading the way, so
Yeah, at home
you know
too.
he's
So
not gonna back down
yeah,
anybody, and they're at
yeah, in the
home. They
dome.
can
Yeah,
really run it up.
yeah.
They can really run it up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
QBs have egos too, man. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he's gonna, they have egos just like each and every other player. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely know he knows he knows Derek Carr's coming in
Mm-hmm.
town. He knows they're coming with those
Mm-hmm.
that arsenal. And Drew Brees, he can really air it out, man. We all know
Oh
this.
yeah. Oh my
So
gosh.
I definitely have my shares of Breeze.
Mm-hmm. Breeze is. I paid the price for not believing in Breeze. So my sleeper pick though for the tight ends is Vance McDonald for the 49ers at the value price of 4,700. He's a big gamble, but him and Gabbert have a pretty good connection. So if it's not, our wide receiver core is not that great. I'm a big 49ers fan. Shout out to the Niners Nation. I know things haven't been the same ever since we lost Jim Harbaugh, but we'll see what Chip Kelly does this season, and all the news that's going around with the Niners too. I just heard today that what's his name got arrested for assaulting. He got arrested for assaulting a 70-year-old man and his son. I was just like, man, what's going on over there?
They cut him right after
Yeah.
that.
So, wow. For what players are human beings too, and they have their emotions and their stories, their inside stories. So, all you can do is just stay focused on yourself. Make sure you don't get caught up in it, so you can move forward. All right. So let's.
I think Cook, Jerry Cook, he's in Green Bay now, man. I think he can make a difference over there.
Oh yeah, with Aaron Rodgers, huh?
I didn't seen Aaron Rodgers turn something. I mean, nothing into something, man. Especially at the tight end spot.
Oh.
So
Yeah, you.
I'm definitely looking forward to Jerry Cook
Yeah.
making some noise.
Yeah, you might see a Hail Mary to Jerry Cook this season.
Oh man, tell me about it, man.
Hey man, Aaron Rodgers he was 2 for 2 last year, right?
Yeah, big 2 for
Yeah,
2.
man, when it counted. Oh, sorry to the Lions and the Cardinals came back, but that was just insane. Just insane. Aaron Rodgers, man. That boy has magic in his pockets, man. So, for the kicker position, do you have any special way of choosing them, Denzel, or do you just go with
Well,
like the cheap option?
nah, my favorite way is to go look into high scoring
Yeah,
games. You know, high scoring games. Somebody's got to kick the ball.
yeah.
Who I think is going to be scoring and things like that. Scoring the most. I'll go ahead and pick some kickers from that game, but it's mainly hit or miss. It's hit or miss because some of these offenses they going right into the end zone, man.
Yeah,
And like it's hit or miss though. It's hit or miss with those kickers.
yeah. And sometimes these kickers they can just save you, man. Score 18 points, 21 points, especially from what we've seen from Santos last year, and I forget the kicker for the Vikings, but
Um,
I remember last.
uh, Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh. Yeah.
But another tip: make sure your kickers are playing. This is week 1.
Yeah.
Everybody out there listening to this, man, make sure your kickers are playing. That's a bad position to have a zero at.
Yeah.
And from experience, man, because I did it before,
Yeah.
man. Just make sure your kickers are playing. Take some time out to run a background check on these kickers. Make sure they haven't been released. or anything like
Yeah, because
that.
FanDuel and DraftKings do a bad job notifying on the kickers. I think they do a good job notifying the wide receivers and everyone else, but these kickers, they don't get a lot of love, so they don't really care for. I mean, the news don't really go out on them.
So make sure your kicker is playing, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. And for the defense, now, how do you go about your defense choosing selection, Denzel?
Well, um, it has a lot to do with a lot of personal knowledge, like your quarterbacks. You know all the quarterbacks in the league. Some of them are interception prone and things like that. You need to know about these offensive lines in the
Yeah.
league, and then you need to know defensive rankings for these teams and what these teams are good at, and what offensive weaknesses, and then try to pick the best defense to exploit each team. You don't have to go for the best defense on paper every week. That every week is a different game, so there's different scenarios
Yeah.
that you come across defensive wise. So,
Yeah,
uh,
especially like the cheap defenses too. Sometimes those guys will get lucky.
right, right. I've been looking at you got rookie quarterback starting. You got like this week. Oh
Yeah, there's
man,
a lot of them.
you got Wentz
Yeah.
starting, and you got quarterbacks that don't even have that good of a chemistry with their receivers and things like that.
Hmm.
They're not going to go out there and be perfect. They're going to be some mishaps. These quarterbacks can have bad games, man. You got
Yeah.
Prescott. You got all these guys, man. They're going up under the big lights, not preseason. They're going up under the big lights
Yep.
this weekend. So take some time to think. Take some time to think about
Yeah.
that. There's going to be some bottom of the barrel defenses that's going to score decent. You
Oh
know,
yeah. It's
if I just get my same, hey, if I still, that between that 10 and 15 points on a value D, hey, I'm good with that, man.
yeah. I gotta make sure to put that down too when I do my Excel. See how much interceptions they're throwing, so we can see how interception prone they are. Like I remember that year with Matt Schaub, man. Matt Schaub, all you gotta do is just pick the defense against Matt Schaub. He was gonna throw a pick six, man. Man,
Mm-hmm.
it was just funny every week, every week.
Gotta pay attention to that, because a lot of these quarterbacks they're gonna be prone to that. They're gonna be throwing some pick six. They're gonna be getting laid out
Yeah,
and all of
yeah.
that.
Well, that's all we have for today, guys, and we're gonna leave you guys off with our picks for Week 1, and here they are. Give me 1 second to bring it up. So I don't know. I'm excited though. Football's back, man. Finally, officially.
Sure, sure is,
So
man.
it's been a long time waiting. I play a little bit of basketball, but I try not to playing games that I don't fully understand because I know that it's gonna come back and bite me in the ass. So
As long as we remember, you know, football, you got to be patient, man, because you can lose this week, man. It's not daily like basketball and baseball, so you have to wait, man. You have to wait to get back or wait to win some more. If you have to wait. So patience, man. Patience is really key, especially when you lose, man, because you can lose this week, you can lose the next week, but you can win, the week after that.
yeah,
And patience, and along with patience is you have to be patient with your bankroll.
oh yeah,
You don't want you don't want to blow it, man. You don't want to blow it out of frustration, anything like that, man. It just leads to bad results. But I'm not saying you can't get frustrated and blow it and win. You can do that too.
yeah,
Smart way, is to use a percentage.
yes. Play it. Just it's like what Draft Shaw and them say. Just respect the process, guys, because it comes when you're jumping in this territory, you gotta accept the consequences that come along with it too. It's not gonna be a a great ride, but you are going to have your ups and you are going to have your downs. Your goal is to think like Floyd Mayweather, right? Just have the best defense, guys, so that way you can stay in the game and attack and be in a position where you can capitalize from, you know. So
Because it's a marathon, guys. It's a marathon.
yes, and just enjoy it, you know, because it's football, man. It's a great time for us to all get together again and talk football, politics, and yell and scream and you know go crazy. I know I'm always at the bar yelling at my $3 lineup, and people are like, "It's $3 when you going crazy with that." I'm like, man, but it's fun.
Right.
Gets my emotions
You
going.
don't want to you don't want to lose to where you feel some type of way after you
Oh
lose.
yeah.
So when you lose, if you lose, you want to be able, you want to be able to change the channel, turn to the news or something like that. Like, you don't have to explain nothing to nobody. You don't have to be watching over your shoulder or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? You want to lose comfortably. Although we know we're all going out to win, but if you lose, you don't wanna be have to beat yourself
Yeah, you
up,
don't want to
man.
lose more than what you lost in the DFS world, you know. You don't want to take it home and then lose more there, you know. So play it safe. You guys all know your risk tolerance, and these are our picks. Uh, well, I guess we'll explain them briefly. Uh, so Denzel got Kirk Cousins, Spencer Ware, LaShawn McCoy, Antonio Brown, DeAndre Hopkins. We got Jones, Reed, Santos, and the Rams defense. Go ahead and give a quick explanation, Denzel, for your picks.
I'll run through them pretty quick. Cousins, because you like that. I like that. You know, I'm looking for a shootout,
Mm-hmm.
man. Monday night. Where we got big time injuries over there in KC. I'm looking for where they like to pound the ball. I'm looking for where to get me somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Shady, he's probably going to be McCoy. He's probably going to be. I'm banking on him to be one of the least owned players in my
Mm-hmm.
lineup, if not the least owned player. I just got that feeling. I'm not feeling Baltimore's
Yeah.
defense. I know Buffalo. They probably top two in rushing attack last year, and McCoy, he can do it all, man. So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
And Brown, self-explanatory. I just don't want to be left out. And, uh, Hopkins, I know my lineup is pretty chalky, but this, this is my first year going into cash. I didn't really play cash, so I'm trying to keep it chalky and a little bit. I don't know, but Hopkins against my poor Bears, man. I don't know what to say. I, I didn't want to pick Hopkins though because I'm not too sure about the chemistry between him and Osweiler. They haven't really did anything
Yeah.
in playoffs. I know they practice or whatever, or whatnot. But my secondary is banged up in Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
so go figure. I'll take that. And then we dealing with another. I picked Matt Jones because Marvin Jones because we dealing with another banged up
Mm-hmm.
secondary plus a high total in this game. So 5,500. I can't pass that up. Uh, Reed, I like this athleticism, man.
Yeah.
Him and Cousins, they click real good. I handcuffed those
Mm-hmm.
two, and I like that.
Yeah.
Santos, I picked Santos. Santos, I look at the Chiefs. They like to pound it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If they can get in there, and then I look at Alex Smith, the ultimate game manager, and things like
Yeah.
that. So if they don't get in there, it's up to Santos, and he's been living up to the hype on the kicking side. So I feel pretty safe with Santos.
Mm-hmm.
And the Rams, I'm just looking for them to shake up Gabbert, man, and with that high tempo offense, the Rams D should have plenty enough chances to get some turnovers or something, man. So I'm really really leaning on them, and I know they'll pound the ball with Gurley when they get a chance. So I'm feeling pretty confident about that Rams D.
Nice, nice.
Nice.
So I'm going with Matt Ryan with Julio Jones stacked. I love these division games, and I'm just playing off of history, what they do every year. The first games, they're fresh. When these two guys are fresh, man, they play extremely well. So I'm banking off of that. No really big stats. I know Tampa Bay is pretty solid now too with their defense, but Julio Jones, he's the warrior. I'm expecting him to produce again. Todd Gurley, because going against my San Francisco defense, they're not that great now, and Gurley got the legs, man. We got Woodhead. I like what Rivers does with Woodhead. I like that he likes to look at Woodhead during red zone opportunities for that quick slant. And then I got Crabtree against the Saints, because I know that's going to be any one of them. It could be I forget the other wide receiver's name now. I can't believe it. It could be anybody in there. Yeah, it could be Cooper. It could be Crabtree. You can go with Murray. Any one of them could be could be a cash. A cash cow for you guys in that game for the points. And Randall Cobb's going against Jacksonville. Thinking that's gonna be a great shootout. Also, even though with Jordan Nelson coming back, these two should spread the field quite well. I got Travis Kelce because he's a hot target for Alex Smith, especially going against San Diego. I don't even know if Nick Folks can be the kicker, so I gotta take your advice and check real quick to see if Nick Folks is still the kicker for the Jets, because I remember last year he was out. He was out a couple of games and screwed me over. So I got to check that out real quick. And then I got the Rams D for the same reasons that Denzel chose him. So we'll see how we do after week 1. But this is our first podcast. Let us know if you guys have any questions, any comment. And if you guys enjoyed something, if you guys want us to elaborate on a certain idea, or just leave us a comment down below and ask us. We'll try our best. And if you guys are the experts out there, please correct us too, because I'm a student and I'm willing to learn and grow, as DFS is an opportunity for you to learn to grow, especially in this environment, as it asks for the best of you to come out, or else you'll see your dividends. You see your return dividends with your efforts that you put in. So anything else you want to add in before we go away, Denzel? Any shout outs?
Shout out to the whole group, man. Our admins,
Yes.
Draft Shot,
Glenn and them, huh?
and like I said, Glenn, man, he's doing good things, man, over there with GOAT. You know, I will be posting, putting up a post tomorrow. I encourage you guys to sign up, man, and getting into some contests, to protect your level and stuff like that from sharks and stuff like that, man. That's gonna really help you.
Yeah, help out the beginners. Yeah.
And it will show you, it'll show you how you've been playing over the years, over the weeks, over the months, and what you've been doing wrong, so you can improve, man. And like I said, maybe next video I'll show you guys my goal score and how I'm explaining to y'all I'm trying to make the transition over to cash, and what I'm going to do, and we can keep up with my results throughout the season.
Awesome, great stuff. Yeah. Leave us a comment below who you guys think is going to be hot this week and who you should not play this week. All right, guys. And with that being said, this is the first episode of First Down Podcast with Denzel Mims and Mang Lee. We'll see you guys in week 2.
Peace.